Greetings all, and welcome back to another episode of What the Fuck Is A reborG podcast. I'm your host, without the most, reborG here. That was corny as fuck, so we'll move on. Got boy here, breathing and panting bad as shit. I don't know if he thinks he's getting ready to go outside or some shit of that nature, but I don't know what the fuck's going on with this guy today. He's out of hand, he's out of pocket. He's walking around. He been that piss on the damn floor. Boy, lay down. Relax. It's podcast time. I can't spend this whole damn podcast arguing with you. Alright? Now I look crazy because I'm talking to a damn dog on the podcast. But we don't do no editing around this motherfucker. So, we will continue. And I will look crazy, but I just don't give a fuck. Alright, on to the next topic. Hate to start it off on a somber note, but I just want to, send my condolences to XXX Tentacion's family. I don't wish death on nobody, and it was a fucked up situation. I'll go by that. Now, I'm not going to be one of these people who say they're going to miss him or anything like that, because I didn't know the guy, but I will miss the opportunity for him to put out more music. I was a fan. I did listen. I enjoyed the music, and I'm glad he at least has a catalog that I enjoyed, so I can continue to enjoy him. But I'm just going to miss the chance of him putting out new music and see what he had coming up next, man. Once again, condolences. And while we're on the music part, hip-hop part, I want to shout out good music. Kanye released 4 fucking albums for the month of June, and the guy, like I said, he's one of the best hip-hop producers of all time. Every album, the Nas album, Tiana Taylor, his and Kid Cudi's, he put great production, and all of them sound different. I like how he uniquely put his production touch on every album, so it does they don't sound the same. Now, I will say this about his album, Ye. I think he did better rapping on Kid Cudi's album than his own, as far as just spitting. But outside of that, man, all the albums were good. I enjoyed them. I liked them. They'll be playing throughout the year. I probably won't be putting them down no time soon. They'll continue to be in the rotation. And for you Drake fans, he'll be coming out this Friday, I think the 29th, yeah. So we'll see what goes with that. We know it will be booming. The guy is the hottest in the game right now. He's got the crown of hip-hop's best. And when I say he's got the crown, I don't mean it as I think he's the best, but he is the most popular rapper going right now, okay? That doesn't mean that I think he's the best or he's got the best rhymes or anything of that nature. I enjoy his music. I've enjoyed his music since comeback season. I think it was R&B Drake or R&B Drake. Those mixtapes and So Far Gone was good. I think I've already expressed that, the guy's pretty good. But just looking forward to see what he has to offer up on the album. And for those who don't know, haven't bothered to know with all the other stuff going on, J-Rock dropped a good-ass album. Alright? Just because it's not popping on the radio doesn't mean that it's not good. And I think if you enjoy hip-hop, you should give J-Rock a listen, man. Shout out to the guy. He was good. We're going to throw a curveball on this one, a topic we're going to dive into. Don't forget, the sports will be spoken of today. I just, saved that for the back end of it. As far as the E3 was 2 weeks ago, I enjoyed some of the videos, probably spoke on some of them, but I think I actually wrote down some games that I'm looking forward to. Not even as far as playing them, but just as far as seeing them and see how they go. Because I don't have to play the game. 1 second. Boys out here tripping in these streets. But just games I'd be interested in seeing other people play or anything of that nature. And speaking of video games, my boy, he has a Nintendo Switch. If you are always out and about traveling this, that, and the third, I think you should pick it up. It's a good system. I wouldn't own one for myself because I don't see it making the rotation of games that I play. But every time I played on his, I enjoyed myself. And he got the new Mario Tennis Ace, which is sauce. Very good game. whether you're playing with the power-ups or you're playing with the simplified tennis rules with no power-ups. It's enjoyable. I enjoy tennis games. I enjoy tennis. Haven't watched it as much since Rafa's been hurt, and not as much as I watched it when I was younger, because I was a big Sampras and Michael Chang fan. Never really got why people were so hyped up on Agassi on the court. Like, I can understand off the court. The guy had sauce, dress, the headbands, the shoes, this, that, and the third. But when he played Sampras, he got his ass whooped. And Sampras was like the Tim Duncan of tennis for the kids who don't know. He was just real quiet. I really don't remember seeing him in too many commercials, maybe one or two. But all he did was win. Alright, fuck shit up. But Mario Tennis Aces was sauce. And I played another game called Overcooked that he had up there, and that was pretty good. It's kind of like a diner dash where you just have to do a lot of shit, chop up the food, cook it, make sure it don't burn. Then you gotta put it out for the customer to eat it. They bring back the dirty dish. You gotta wash the dish, and all this shit is going on, and you got the orders piling up and all that. And it was an enjoyable game. And like I said, if you got a Switch, just go ahead, man. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it. They have games, even some of the throwbacks of songs, as I've mentioned before. But some of the games in E3 that I'm really interested in, Resident Evil 2, the remaster, won't play it again. I already had my headaches of beating that shit back when it came out, so I'm not even stepping back over those bounds again. Cyberpunk 2077, don't know much about the game other than the video, but it looks interesting. I don't know if I will play it, but I will definitely watch people on Tube get down. And once a Black Hokage, TBH does a review, I'll probably make my decision on after that. Kingdom Hearts 3 looks amazing. Always does, always will. I know a lot of fans are tired of fucking waiting on the game, but hey, man, hey. That's what we got. I guess they didn't want to put out a fucked up product, so they're just going to keep going. Last of Us 2 looked good. Ghost of Tsushima, that looked good. It looked like it has like a For Honor one player thing going on, but it's more intricate. I think it will probably be a better version. The Division 2, I think I spoke on that. I think this is probably going to be like the patch or the better version of the Division 1. I wasn't that big of a fan of it. I enjoyed the beta, but once I saw that the release copy was kind of the same thing, I just lost interest in it. I'll never say the game is ass. I just didn't enjoy it for me. Forza look good. Forza 4. Smash Bros. Hey. And they putting every character that's ever been in Smash Bros. Goo, if you listening, prepare for your ass whooping. I got one of them friends who will practice a game and invite you to play it just so he can whoop your ass. But what he doesn't know sometimes is I'm old. And, I've been playing video games for a long time, so I have finger memory. And he usually thinks he's going to whoop my ass in a lot of games. But for the most part, I'm able to hold my own or win. And he one of them people who like to pick a stage, certain stages that he's good on. He don't like to randomize. No, we randomize. That's the rules right there. We don't care what character you're using, but we randomizing this damn stage. But Smash Bros looks great. Anthem, I don't know. Wait till it comes out. Spider-Man looks good. It look like they're jocking a lot of Batman Arkham series, but ride that train, go with it. EA Play, Madden looks good. Wait and see. Same thing with Live 2K. As far as sports games, it's wait and see. Now 2K I'll purchase because I always purchase 2K, and I always enjoy 2K. Even though it has its issues I spoke of before, I'm still going to enjoy it. But the good thing with the EA games is I have EA access. 10-hour trials will give me a nice opportunity to play enough of the game to see whether it will be purchasable or not. And with those 10 hours, you could use that to play with your friends if that's what you're more interested in. Or wait till they release it for free, because EA Access adds games to the vault and you can play them. I mean, it's about $30 for a year. It's been a great purchase. I can't lie. It's been a real good purchase. That's it for the video game portion. Now we're going to slide to the sauce. That is the sports. World Cup. Uruguay is putting out the sauce. I think Portugal made the tournament. Mexico, Sweden's looking good. Ronaldo's doing his thing. Neymar's on the come up. I didn't read too much into what the fuck happened with him, so I don't know what the fuck happened, but he's playing pretty good. Messi's teammates stink. They don't match. It's not that they have to match his skill level, because he's one of the best soccer players, not only in the league, but one of the best all time. And for his teammates not to pull their weight, fuck it, man. He might need to change his citizenship somewhere else so he can go play with a team that could give him a chance to do some shit. Enjoying the World Cup. I hate the fact that I missed the weekday matches because I don't get off work till 3, and the last game starts at 2. But on the weekends, I try to catch up and do what I do for it. NFL news. They just finished releasing the top 10 of the top 100. I don't know because this list is based on how the players vote, and sometimes I think that I don't know, maybe they're not using every player from every team. Something about the rankings stinks all the time, and it has nothing to do with any of my favorite team, the Raiders, and nothing like that. We didn't deserve anybody on the list other than Matt Carr and maybe Crabtree. I would take Crabtree in the 90s, 80s section because he was pretty good. But outside, I'm not concerned with that. My concern, number one, Julio Jones at 4. You trying to tell me he was the 4th best player in football this past season? You out your fucking mind, all right? Especially when you have DeAndre Hopkins at fucking 13. Now, I'm not saying that Hopkins is better than Julio, but the media has put Julio on a pedestal that it's Antonio Brown, Julio, and then everybody else. I don't think that's warranted, okay? And you can check the numbers. Hopkins had 96 catches. Julio had 88. Julio had 1,444 yards. Hopkins had 1,373, I think. Hopkins had 13 touchdowns. Julio had 3. And let's not forget the simple fact that Julio has a great quarterback. Matt Ryan, maybe not the best, but he is a good quarterback. He's subject to make the Pro Bowl every year he's out there, regarding health. I think Hopkins went through 3 quarterbacks last year. He started to get the vibe with Watson, but Watson got hurt, and he still had other quarterbacks to go through, and he still put up great numbers. And I think he played one less game than Julio. Another gripe. Aaron Donald at 7? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay? Let's get fucking real. This guy is the best defensive player that played football in the NFL last season. The best. And you're trying to tell me he's not top 5? Part of the reason that the Rams have been able to change the culture is because the defense was already solid. They were just waiting on Sean McVay to help change the offense, give Goff his confidence, give him a playbook he can work with, and let him excel. Aaron Donald's been a fucking beast. He's one of the best defensive tackles in the league, if not the best. And another thing with this fucking list, why are so many defensive tackles rated so low? Let me go down the list, because it was I threw up in my mouth when I saw where Fletcher Cox was rated. Fletcher Cox might be the 2nd best defensive. What people don't understand is that just because they don't have a lot of stats, it does not take away from the impact they have on the game. Do you know that they had the audacity to rate defensive tackles who beast game in and game out? Geno Atkins, Jarrell Casey, and Fletcher Cox were all rated behind fucking Ndamukong Suh, who didn't do shit at Miami. Not a damn thing, okay? The defense did not improve. The team did not play better. He did not change the culture. He didn't do anything. Okay? There's a reason why the Bengals never have a top 5 pick. And it is because of great receivers like A.J. Green, who help Andy Dalton with his mediocrity. And the defense is always solid because the man in the middle, Geno Atkins, puts in that work. One of the main reasons the Titans have one of the best defenses in the league that you don't know about is because of Jarrell Casey. And the same goes for Fletcher Cox. He demands a double team every game. He is the focal point of the team that just won the goddamn Super Bowl on defense. They sub out the defensive ends, but Fletcher Cox stays in for most of the plays. And you're trying to tell me that he's the 69th best player that played football this year? This past season? Fuck out my face, alright? I watched the list just to see who they have up there, but this shit might be it. Because I'm fortunate enough that YouTube and the NFL Network channel load up the videos individually. So I don't have to wait for no show or none of that shit. Wait for the day to pop up and I can just peep them, okay? But just some of these rankings are just outright just disrespectful, man. Just stop. Some of this shit is just uncalled for. Now, I'm going to go to another gripe I have. Carson Wentz at 3. Should Carson Wentz be in the top 10? Definitely. Shit, he was almost the MVP before he got hurt. But I'm not going to say he's the 3rd best player in the league. I will put Drew Brees ahead of him because he played the whole year. He completed 72 fucking % of his passes. And if it wasn't for some goofy ass defensive back, they would have played the Eagles in the conference championship. And who knows how that would have turned out. That's just my thing. Brady had the 1. Hey, it's Brady, man. I don't even... Unless the guy gets hurt, and even if he does get hurt, he'll probably still be number 1. I think he was number 1 last year. As long as he playing football, he will be number 1. I had no problem with Antonio Brown at 2. This guy has not been covered in, 4 or 5 years? He's the best wide receiver in the game and easily top 5 offensive weapon. I didn't mind Le'Veon Bell at 5. Like, the top 10, other than Donald, Wentz was a little too high for me. I think A-Rod should have been outside the top 10 because I don't think you should. When you say the top 100 players, I'm thinking of players that played. Now, if there's injuries, I can understand you. I think they should save not the 100 to 80 for all the injured players. I think that should be a knock against you if you didn't play the whole year. And A-Rod, who I think is the most talented quarterback in the league. Won't say the best, because he don't get them, to the Super Bowl like Brady. The Patriots are to the point where I refuse to put anybody in the AFC. I refuse to put anybody else as the representative of the AFC in the Super Bowl until Brady is gone. I just refuse. And until he's gone, that's just how the fuck it's going to be. But that was the list. I thought it was definitely some bullshit. If you want to argue it, we got the comment section. If it's my friends, don't save this shit for the group me when we meet up the damn Xbox mic party, alright? Use the fucking comment section, alright? Let's get some shit started, alright? The NBA awards were the other day. Who gives a shit? Why do you have a fucking... I'm really not a fan of the big award shows, because who gives a shit? Well, most of the time, we know who it is, and it's just another corny-ass award show. I really don't watch any of them. The BET Awards was Sunday, but I ain't fucked with BET in years, alright? So, I really don't give a flying fuck. And Jamie Foxx, why don't you just hurry up and come out the closet, man? Every time you do a show, you gotta bring this Wanda shit out. It was alright when you was on The Living Color. You're not on the sketch comedy show anymore. Stop bringing this motherfucker out. I'm pretty sure it's not relevant to anybody. Now, I'll probably get knocked for gay bashing or anything like that nature, but for some, I've watched Jamie Foxx's whole career. He stinks, alright? He's always going to be funny, because he's naturally funny. naturally talented. Dude can sing, play the piano, this, that, and the third. Now, I didn't watch the BET Awards, but I did watch this the tribute to Anita Baker. That's one of my favorite artists. Love her music. Voice is incredible. You know, that music is great. If you don't know, please get fucking informed. But the NBA Awards, who gives a shit? A lot of people didn't like the fact that Gobert won defensive MVP. But, I mean, he changed the culture, man. I mean, even if he doesn't play, that team goes nowhere. And you can say the same for Anthony Davis, but he at least has his offense to back him up. Gobert has to play defense, or that team has absolutely no chance. You know, Davis can take a break on defense and turn around and give you buckets. But, you know, I think Anthony Davis in maybe about 2-3 years, he's pretty much going to be starting. Once LeBron gets on the downturn, because I don't think LeBron will retire before things get bad. I think he might have a year or two where he might not, you know, where his skills have dipped a little bit. But I think Anthony Davis' time is coming soon, where he is the best player in the league. So I think he has a chance to, you know, continue to keep going. I changed the battery in the goddamn smoke detector, and the shit is still, you know what? I'm not going to rant. I'm just going to continue. I pretty much went over all the awards beforehand. It was funny to see Dwayne Casey go up there and talk shit and mention the Pistons. And I think this is the first time ever, I might have to look it up, that a coach was coaching a different team when he received the Coach of the Year award. That was cool. I saw the GIF or GIF. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Bill Russell giving Charles Barkley the finger. For those who don't know, Bill Russell is a big trickster. He's a funny motherfucker. Outside of just being old, because being old is already funny in itself. But he's like naturally funny, you know, can, you know, spit out a good joke, always kidding around and things of that nature. So I wasn't surprised by that. Like I said, I didn't watch the show. I just watched some highlights. And one of the highlights I enjoyed was watching Niecy Nash present with those big ass titties. That might sound a little sexist and misogynistic, but I don't give a fuck. I like titties, and I will speak on it. But the NBA Awards, who gives a shit? July the 1st will be the start of free agency. So by the next pod, I'll be discussing some things on that. Who signed where, because I don't predict where people are going to sign, because I don't fucking know. And it's definitely not as fun as, you know, maybe a mock draft or something like that. In a segue, let's discuss the draft that was last week. I'm going to go over... probably about the first 20. And for my homies, that's the Laker fan and the Bulls fan with picks that were later on in the draft. I'll just, you know, mention you guys' pick. I'm not going over the whole damn thing. Fuck that. First pick, we had DeAndre Ayton. I'm not going to say I'm surprised that he got picked. I just thought Luka was going to be the pick because they brought the coach over there. Not a big deal. Not, you know, too concerned with it. You know, it's not that. Okay, pick 2, Marvin Bagley for the Kings. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me say this. DeAndre Ayton definitely helps the Suns be a better team instantly. Okay, they have pieces. Let's see what this coach can do. I hope they give him a chance to coach, because they don't give coaches a lot of chances nowadays, and I don't think that's fair at all. That you know, if he has one bad year, he's subject to get fucking fired. All right, that's just all there is to it. But give the guy a chance and let him implement his system. Just, you know, let the guy get a chance. Pick 2, Marvin Bagley to the Kings. I think that helps. Blighty Divock said we have a young super team, but the one thing about a young super team is they have to play on the floor. You can say whatever the fuck you want about the team, but they're going to have to play. So, we shall see. I think he's a good fit. I think, like I said, him and De'Aaron Fox on the pick and roll is pretty crazy. Pick 3, the Hawks. picked Luka Doncic. I'll mention what happened to him later. Pick 4, Jaren Jackson to the Grizz. I think the Grizz think that they have a Gasol for the power forward position now, and I think they feel that Marc Gasol, baby Gasol as I call him, has a chance, can play at least about 2 to 3 more effective years. They're going to get Conley back, so it's one of those wait and see type things, but I think it's a good pick. I think they have a chance to do something, pretty good. And for the most part, you're going to hear me say this a lot when I talk about the draft or any future things involving sports. It's definitely a wait and see thing. Pick 5 was Trae Young. He got traded for Luka Doncic. And as far as Trae Young in Atlanta, I've already mentioned before how Dennis Schroeder wants the fuck out of there. And Trae Young, I think, is a pick that they are trying to put fans in the stands. They're trying to get people excited about going to a Hawks game. Because even on TV, the Hawks stands are bone fucking dry. Like the dude that sings the Wonder Years, Joe Crocker, is dried in his fucking voice. I think it's a good move. If it works tremendously. If it fails tremendously. So high risk, high reward. And as far as the Mavs picking up Doncic, I think that's going to be good. Him and Dennis Smith in the backcourt, yeah, I think the transition from Dirk to them, I think that'll be good, okay? Pick 6, the Magic pick Mohamed Bamba. Welcome to Purgatory. The Magic didn't have much of a choice. They picked best player available. They have a double center right now, or a potential double center in Vucevic. So I don't know. They just picked best player available. I'll move on. Number 7, the Bulls picked Wendell Carter Jr. I think you put him and marketing together, and I think things will work out pretty good. I was wrong for the most part about my draft. I didn't get a pick right till Jaren Jackson Jr. And the pick after that was Michael Bridges, and I think that was about it. I don't think I got Shield Us right, but shout out. My friend Paul, who's a Bulls fan, didn't like the pick, but I think that this pick will be fine, man. You got a guy to protect the rim. You get younger. He has an offensive game from the post and out to shooting if need be. Strong rebounder, strong defender, sets good picks. I think he'll be good for Chris Dunn and Levine. I'm not going to say the team's going to be great, but adding him is an improvement. Pick 8, the Cavaliers pick Colin Sexton. I'm a Colin Sexton fan. I think that this kid is my favorite player from the previous high school class, because every high school class always have a favorite player. And, he was the favorite player from, last year. And I think Cleveland did the same thing as Atlanta with the Trae Young pick. High risk, high reward, because I think they want to use this guy to put butts in the seats, because they see what Russell Westbrook has done with the Thunder since KD and Harden have left, and I think that's what they think they can get out of this kid. Because I can tell you right now, it didn't matter who the fucking draft pick was. It won't, unless it was the number 1 pick, like it was Ayton or some shit like that, or Bagley. But none of these picks, this draft pick for the Cavs, has shit to do with keeping LeBron there. So I don't even know why that is a part of the discussion. Just move the fuck on, man. Good pick. The kid can ball. Hope the best for him. He has a chance to do something special in this league. Now, if he doesn't, hey, I ain't got no problem being wrong. I've been wrong before. Pick 9, Kevin Knox. Now, I've dogged Kevin Knox, throughout the whole draft process through the podcast. I'm not saying that the kid stinks. I was just underwhelmed with his performance at Kentucky. Do I think he's going to be a solid pro? Definitely has the chance to be. And I feel bad for the kid because he got booed, but it's the Knicks. The Knicks fans always boo. They don't give a fuck. Remember they booed Porzingis? Look how that turned out. He's the toast of the fucking town. But he can work. It really does set them up a lot better overall. I think, they'll put a bid in and try to get a center. But whenever Chris Tapps come back, that's when all of this really matters. Because Frank Ntilikina, I tried. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Kevin Knox, that's a nice building block. Once Porzingis comes back, to see how that all could work out. He doesn't have to worry about being the man. The offense won't have to flow through him. So I think that him taking a lesser role will help him in the development in the future. I think it was a decent pick by the Knicks. And I'll get to, another player, why he got skipped over a couple of these. Pick 10, Mikal Bridges. This was fucked up that they traded him after he got picked because his mom is works in the human resources department for the 76ers, and they were all sad. I'm sorry, sad. What the fuck? Ugh. They were all elated and happy, and she was getting ready to cry, and she was holding back tears and all that, and then they fucked around and fucked them over. Shout out, not yet. Pick 11, the Hornets pick Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And traded the pick to the Clippers at 12, Miles Bridges. So I will speak on Mikal Bridges when that trade comes up. But let's go to the Hornets with Miles Bridges. For those who think the kid is just a dunker, who cares? Vince Carter was just a dunker. Changed the culture in Toronto. Dominique was just a dunker. Changed the culture. At one time, DeRozan was just a dunker. Okay, so I'm not just saying that because the Hornets are my favorite team. I'm just saying that. I would have said that regardless. The guy's athletic. He has a decent three-point shot. I'm not going to say good. It's okay. If you leave him open, he's definitely a threat. But I think with his athleticism, defensive potential, and tenacity, and, with that down and dirty Michigan State style, I think that will help change the identity of the Hornets. Or let's hope. Pick 12, the Clippers get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They need a floor leader. Patrick Beverley is a good point guard, but he's just a defensive point guard. He hasn't established his offense or gotten better on offense, this duration of his career. So I think this pick was to let him know, you need to start adding offensively or we going to get rid of your fucking ass. And speaking of the Clippers, Doc Rivers just traded his son for Marcin Gortat. And the fucks that I didn't give were insurmountable. But we move on. The Clippers picked Jerome Robinson for their second pick at 13. I think they have a feeling that Avery Bradley's going to go somewhere else in free agency. So, and Robinson, a pretty good player. Can score from all three levels. That's in the paint, finishing at the rim, mid-range, and three-point shot. I think it's a pretty good pickup. I don't really give a fuck about the Clippers. I'm not a big Doc Rivers fan. I don't think he's that great of a coach. I think he's good. He's okay, but all the hype he gets, I can't ride that train. Pick 14, Michael Porter Jr. Wow, Michael Porter Jr. Did y'all see when they were introducing the prospects and he walked down them steps? He looked like Herman Munster. What the fuck is wrong with your hips, boy? What's wrong with your legs? He's still hurt. Michael Porter Jr. is fucked up. And he was on national TV lying his fucking ass off talking about I'm fine and I'm ready for the Summer League. The Summer League is next week. And I put $10 because that's about all I can afford to bet right now. He will not be playing in any of those fucking games. Right? The kid's hurt. He's fucked up. It's a good pickup by the Nuggets because they were a game away from making the playoffs. So they keep their core, they should be fine. And they can pull like a Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid type thing where they can let him sit out a year, maybe two, and let him get actually healthy and make sure he's 100% before they put him out on the floor. Now, if he's healthy, he adds a scoring punch to a team that can already get buckets, and the future looks bright in Denver. They have a chance, I'm not going to say they're a championship team, but they could definitely make a run in the playoffs if he's healthy. That's 3-4 years from now. So who fucking knows? 15 pick, Troy Brown Jr. from Oregon, going to the Wiz. I think Troy Brown was more of a pickup to be a backup combo guard. Or they might have the feeling that Bill won't resign or come back, or Otto Porter Jr., who they just signed not that long ago. They might be wanting to get rid of him. But I think he's more of a pick to help the bench, because the guy's very versatile. He can help other players get good, but he's not the guy who's going to come off the bench and pull a Lou Will, which is hard because he won 6 man. But I like him as a basketball player. I don't think that team was the best fit for him, and I don't know what the hell they have going on. I kind of trust Scotty Brooks to do his thing. 16, the Suns, they traded Zhaire Smith from Mikal Bridges, and I think that Mikal Bridges going to the Suns, I don't get it. You already got your 2 guard and your small forward in Josh Jackson and Devin Booker. I guess you want him to come off the bench and be the scoring punch. I'm not particularly sure. And I know Devin Booker ain't playing no fucking point guard, so I don't think that was wise. And I don't think it was wise for the 76ers to trade Bridges, because Bridges can come right in and help right off the gate. Now, he'll help the Suns, but his impact will not be as big or better than it would have been for the Sixers. And Zhaire Smith, really don't know that much about the kid. Didn't watch any Texas Tech games, but I know the kid can get buckets, so he helps. But he's not as good defensively, and he's not as versatile on offense as Michael Bridges is. So it was just a weird one. The Bucks picked Dante DiVincenzo with the 17th pick. I think he could be cool. Nice combo guard. Can come off, he can come in and play the 2 and move. I forgot the guy's name. Chris Middleton, move him to the 3, Greek Freak to the 4. They have a lot of versatility with the lineup by picking him. It should be fine. I think he'll play pretty good. Can come off the bench. I think that'll be his first role. And I think he has a chance to, play a good part on this team. Won't get them to the championship, but they might have got a little bit better in the years to come. Pick 18, the Spurs pick Lonnie Walker the fourth from Miami. Very athletic kid, potentially amazing on offense. They pretty much used this pick and replaced Jonathan Simmons, or filled in for Rudy Gay, who opted out. And the funny thing about this pick was that my dad is a longtime Spurs fan, and he called me when they made the pick, and he said, "Hey, the Spurs finally picked a player that I fucking know." Because, he's a University of Miami fan, football, basketball, baseball, anything University of Miami, he's a fan of. I think he even watches fucking tennis matches. But it was funny just to hear him finally know who the Spurs have drafted, because they usually go foreign, one of those draft and stash players or something like that. So that was pretty funny. Pick 19, Kevin Huerter from Maryland, going to the Hawks. Hawks just looking for some more 3-point shooters, and we move on. Pick 20, the T-Wolves, Josh Okogie. I don't know anything about the kid, so I'll move on. Pick 22 for my homie that's a Bull fan, Chandler Hutchinson. He's a good scoring punch off the bench. I do not know who the Bulls have coming off the bench, but they instantly add about, a couple of more points because this kid can't score. Shout out to Anthony Simmons, high school kid, got drafted 24th to the Blazers. The Blazers don't have any. The Blazers might be trying to move. They might be trying to move Lillard or McCullough. I don't see any need for you to pick this player. Now, they might not be moving one of them soon, but in the near future, yeah. In the next 2-3 years. If they don't, it's because Simmons didn't pan out. He's athletically gifted and offensively talented, so he has a chance, you know. And for Smitty, pick number 25, the Lakers pick Moritz Wagner. He's a good offensive player, can stretch and shoot. Not really the guy who's going to be the rim protector, so the Lakers still don't have one of those. I think it's wise that you do have one, even if it is not that good. Just look at the Warriors. JaVale McGee proved himself very worthy in the finals by being the athletic rim protector, or just a rim protector in general, and being the guy who can finish on pick and rolls and all that. And I don't see Wagner being that outside the jumper. I think the Lakers need to start from the inside out from now on, because you've already solidified your point guard. Lonzo will be fine. He'll move on and, you know, continue to get better. Kuzma, surprised a lot. I knew the kid, he played good at Utah, but he showed a lot more than he did at Utah playing for the Lakers. So your power forward spot is good. Ingram, your 2 or 3 small forward, shooting guard, he could play either one. He steadily got better. I hope this injury doesn't hinder his growth as a player, but, you know, I'm having the feeling that he'll be that consistent 20-point scorer for them in the future. I just think they should have got a rim protector. In this league, you can barely touch people on defense, so getting to the rack isn't that difficult. So I think a good pick as far as adding more scoring. I always got to add more scoring in this NBA. And with a versatile big who can shoot threes, it's always a plus. But the fact that he's not better at other things leaves something to be desired. And Magic came out and said if he don't get a big name free agent between this offseason and next offseason, he's going to step down. I think he has a chance, you know. I don't think he's going to step down. I think they will sign somebody. Maybe not this offseason, but next offseason. I can definitely see them adding a superstar or two. That was the draft. Everybody point and laugh at Trae Young. Those shorts were ass. You look like you go to a private school where none of the boys at the all-boy private school get any pussy. Shout out to Wendell Carter and his family for doing the Wakanda thing. That was funny. If you get a chance, go back and watch Michael Porter when he was walking. Man, that guy's fucked up. And shout out to Moms. She tried to watch the draft, but she didn't watch college basketball this year. She didn't know shit about anything about the draft, but she did compliment the mothers for dressing well and for the guys who actually did wear decent suits. Said, Mom, you sat here and watched the whole round and all you could talk about is what people were wearing. I had fun, you know, but that's just Mom's. Draft was cool. A lot of teams improved. The Hornets didn't get Kevin Knox, so, you know, the offseason for the Hornets continuing on the upward. So appreciate you guys for coming and tuning in. Hit that like button. Fuck, hit the dislike button. I really don't give a shit. At least I know you watched. Leave something in the comments if you want to argue any of these topics or concur, or if you want me to talk about some other shit. You know, I'm open to it. You know, appreciate it. Thank you. Be easy.